Agada.
Mbijan raganya.
Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyinji.
Okay. What's that? Nsila ID soto.
Ah, that's sorry. Agada.
Mbijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara Allah service o tariya.
Ah,
mbare ki janna nun kunu bara tariya.
Ah, jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbali ya bere. Ha. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato ni fo bolong blabe to.
56 branches mola soto Gambia jam.
Ha?
Ha. Gambia kono ani Gambia bantala bankol. Nko kodo kiya bere to. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta même na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw. Jannom number 1 ti nyonta. Andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale. Wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi man domorol dil fana beteat. Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je.
Ha wo mo yo diat ha.
Apelenta
baraka ba. Ni lafta nyelen kendol e bina.
Yalo bu kanyi la ko la baraka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Abaraka.
Him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But don't you know about Balo?
Balo? What is Balo?
Balo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baluo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baluo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baluo, better than sending money.
For the first time in the history of the Gambia, Gambia Printing Publishing Corporation proudly introduces the Biliomatic exercise book printing machine. The machine has the capacity to print more than 20,000 books per hour. Yes, 20,000 books per hour. It also prints magazines, newspapers, calendars, flyers, normal books and all kinds of printed documents plus items at affordable prices. With the Biliomatic printing machine, GPPC can now render high-quality and non-size restricted printing service supply across the sub-region. Rush now and partner with GPPC for all your public and private printing service needs. Print with us today and you'd be offered highly professional, reliable and efficient service delivery by our team of experts. The Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation is here to meet all demands and is reliable at all times. For more info, contact us on 437-4493 or 437-4402. GPPC is Gambian and it's yours.
Gambia Social Registry Household Data Collection Exercise. The government of the Gambia, with support from World Bank, is developing a social registry as part of its move towards an integrated social protection system in the country. Gambia Social Registry will serve as a single entry point for the various social protection programs in the Gambia and will be hosted by the National Social Protection Secretariat at the Office of the Vice President. The social registry shall comprise households' demographic and socio-economic data. This information will guide future social protection program interventions in the Gambia and facilitate rapid identification of beneficiaries for programs. It will have the capability to be linked to other databases when these databases become automated. The enumeration teams from Gambia Bureau of Statistics, GBOS, will visit, interview and register every household in your community, so don't be left out. However, inclusion in the registry does not automatically qualify one for a particular social program. Social Registry has taken consideration of the key principles for personal data protection. Therefore, your data shall be confidential and protected. In view of this, we call on all and sundry to register their households with enumerators from GBOS. This message is brought to you by the Department of Information Services under the Ministry of Information.
and welcome to the brunch on Kerfatu Live. I'm Lamin Cham. This is our weekly look at current affairs in the country over the past 7 days. Today we revisit the IPC, yes, the Inter-Party Committee, that is the body put together to bring all political parties in the country into one umbrella organization. Their mandate, yes, it is, among other things, to ensure that there is smooth coordination and relationship between the political parties, and of course to mediate and negotiate, to have amicable solutions when problems arise dealing with political process, election process, or any other issues arising from politics or electioneering processes. The body has really made tremendous achievements, and in fact have been a study case for people from international community and from lands, outside our borders, who came here to understudy the activities of the IPC with an intention, of course, to replicate their success stories in their own countries in management of elections. So I have in the studio today Mr. Samba Baldeh. He is the co-chair of IPC, and Baa Jabbie, who is the secretary. Mr. Baldeh comes from the opposition Gambia Democratic Congress, GDC, and GANU, that is the Gambia Alliance for National Unity, is the party that Baa Jabbie comes from. Gentlemen, welcome to the brunch.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, let me begin with you. Since you took over, which is a little under a year or so, if I am right, or about almost a year now, how, in terms of direction, have you been taking the IPC? Because you came after the presidential elections, I guess, but then there were the National Assembly, if that was before you, or the area councils, as well as the mayor elections. Yes, we may not have many publicly played disputes between the parties in those elections, but you certainly must have been working very closely with your people. Where were the directions you were taking the IPC?
Thank you very much, Lamin Cham. First of all, I have to thank viewers and the listeners to this program. Well, since I took over the mantle of leadership in the IPC just almost a year ago, we had a lot of problems that were holding the IPC because then we were battling how to get a new office. Then we have an office, but the rent expired in April 2021, 2022 rather. So then we did not have another office. Then we were trying to negotiate with the UNDP, because they are the people who are funding us.
One of your fundings.
Most of our fundings are done by the UNDP. So we are battling with them to get a new office. And because we wanted to relocate the office at that time, and we were successful in relocating the office from where it was, because it was a story building. Now we wanted the ground floor, so that at least, because the IPC, we want to have all inclusive.
Exactly.
So
you were mindful, yes.
So that's why we are scouting for another office where at least everybody will have easy access to the office. So finally, we are successful to get that office, and then from
where
there,
are you located now?
We are in the Tranquil, not far from the GRA.
Oh, GRA office in Bruceby.
Yes, Bruceby. Yes, that's where you go through a branch on the right.
Fantastic.
And then we are in front there, not far from the GRA
office.
Yes, that's where we are.
Yeah.
So then we were also trying to secure funds, because we wanted the political party leaders to own the IPC. As far as they are the people who form the party, the IPC, the institution is comprised of all political parties that are registered in this country by the Independent Electoral Commission.
How many are registered with you?
Presently, we have 19 political parties registered with the IPC, because we are only taking parties that are registered by the IEC. So automatically they become members of the IPC.
I see.
So
And they are represented?
They are represented. So each political party is represented by 2 permanent members and 1 alternate. Wow. In the event that the one of the permanent members is away, then the alternate can step in to cover. So that's why we have 3. And we are so mindful that to have at least, we are putting gender this into
consideration.
Yeah, consideration. Yes, whereas if you have, we want a male and a female.
Okay.
But in the event that you have 2 males or 2 females, then the alternate must be the opposite sex. So that at least everybody will
balanced,
be
gender
balanced. Yes. From there, then we were also trying to make sure that we have these people living with disabilities to bring them on board. And we met all political party leaders, almost, because about, I can say about 87% of the political parties are already met by the IPC executive.
You mean you take delegations to
their delegations to their executive?
Individually?
Yes, individually. We discuss with them, mention, tell them our problems that we are facing, and how they can also skip in to at least to fund the IPC.
To own it.
To own it, yes. Because where you put your money, that's where you have your concern.
Yes.
You see, and you cannot form an institution and then you backstand. It means that then that institution will have it have a big problem to forge ahead.
To operate, yeah.
Yes, because we cannot depend on donor funding throughout.
I see.
So we wanted, because one day these donors will force out. If they are out now, what will happen?
How do you sustain?
The institution will collapse.
Yeah.
And this is what we don't want. So we are trying to meet all political party leaders, inform them about the owning of the IPC, and then we'll develop a position paper where we'll put an amount there. Each political party will be charged an amount that is a uniform amount, that we can say maybe such an amount for every yearly subscription, and then this will be used to carry out some IPC activities. And then for the secretariat also will be able to manage the secretariat and so on.
Wow, talking about the secretary, we will come to really explore more of your activities now. You mentioned a secretariat. Now there's a full-fledged secretariat led by a secretary, among other people there, Baa Jabbie. Baa, can you operating from the secretariat, can you elaborate on some of the activities he talked about and the others you have in the pipeline? Basically, if you are to review the year for the IPC after the elections, or some part of the elections where actually took place in the previous 12 months, how did it go?
Thank you very much, Mr. Cham, and good morning, viewers. Just like the co-chair said, Honorable Samba Baldeh, he has been in the leadership of the IPC since 2017 to date. He was the head of the administration before he graduated to become the co-chair of the inter-party committee. So he has been privy to a lot of activities that the IPC has been engaged in before, during, and after the the presidential, the parliamentary, and the mayoral elections. Mr. Baldeh has been in the thick of things. So like you said, the IPC is a mechanism for peace by using dialogue to bring about mutual understanding between political parties or within political parties, and then using resolutions and consensus to resolve conflicts. So this has been the modus operandi of the IPC since its formation. Right now, the IPC is undergoing some transformations. Like the co-chair said, we have realized that the IPC is not a statutory body, which means that the IPC is not getting funding from the taxpayers. We don't have any funds from the government. So IPC is self-funded. It's self-funded. How do we get our funds? Is We have international partners like the United Nations Development Program, the National Democratic Institute of the State Department of the United States of America, NDI, the ECOWAS, and other bilateral and multilateral, partners. This is where we draw our fundings from. So we realize that this might not be sustainable. This might not be sustainable. So at a meeting, all of us came together to brainstorm, and the outcome of that meeting was that we need to go back to the political party leaders and further inform them that they own IPC. IPC is their brainchild, is their baby. So we need to enter into a constructive conversation with them in order to find good strategies of how we can self-fund, how they can fund IPC, so that when the donors become tired, when we have the donor fatigue, then IPC will be able to sustain itself. And another thing is how we can also make IPC a statutory body. So so that the activities, the financial funding can be drawn from the consolidated fund.
I see.
So these are some of the issues that we realize we need to do, and we have engaged, like you said, 84% of the political party leaders, including the president, of course, lawyer Usainu Dabo, just to mention a few, were all met, and we had a very fruitful and constructive conversations with them. And in fact, one of them, that is the lawyer Ahmed Fati of Gambia Moral Congress, offered his legal expertise, to draw, a legal framework that we can present to the Ministry of Justice.
Yeah,
for us to become a statutory body.
I see.
We, as we speak now, we don't have the constitutional mandate to
ask for public funds.
Yes, to ask for public funds or to punish people who violate codes of conduct. Because there are codes of conduct of the IEC, codes of conduct of the IPC. The IPC have actually taken it upon themselves to come up with this code of conduct in order to normalize relations between political actors in this country. And if any of these political parties who are signatories to this code of conduct, memorandum of understanding, articles of association, violate them, then there are ways that we will utilize to bring them to the table and reprimand them. So this is what we do, but we don't have the legal mandate to punish any political party for violating the IPC code.
But I take it that by working with them, because you are representing all of them, in the first place you'll be able to prevent conflicts or violation of this code of conduct in the first place.
Exactly.
Have you been successful in putting the political actors into line so that they don't cross your red line?
Exactly. This is why we have these two tools: dialogue and consensus building. When it comes to dialogue, dialogue happens when there is a conflict already. Then we bring the actors together, the protagonists together, to have a dialogue in order to resolve that conflict. But consensus building comes when we have a signal that a problem is about to happen. So we come together to look at that problem, analyze it and see how we can prevent that problem from happening by building a consensus, and then using that consensus to exert pressure on the protagonists to kind of abandon, the ways that they have adopted, to achieve, their set goals. So dialogue and consensus building is what we use to resolve conflicts and to prevent conflict. Yes.
Interesting, Chairman. He mentioned something that really people often wonder how on earth that can be achieved. Like, to be able to achieve a consensus among people who are themselves the competitors. You know what I mean? In the IPC, you have representatives from all the political parties, and you are the people, your parties are the people competing. So how do you manage to have a body that can really, command the respect from all these competitors and, make them to feel, look, let's listen to, this is our common platform. Let's listen to it. How do you go about it? And of course, people are wondering whether there could be a bias because all of you, 19 of you, 18 seem to share. That's how it should look now. But of course, the NPP is the odd man out. They are in the governing party. So I think that most of the quarrels will be between most of you, these 18, and the NPP. How do you, if it happens, how do you negotiate and solve the problem?
Thank you very much, Mr. Sham. It may interest you that from the inception of the IPC, we have never gone into voting.
Or in your process?
Yes, in the
unanimous
process,
always.
Unanimous. We always have consensus agreement on any issue that we do. Sometimes we have bitter debates.
Yes.
We discuss it up to the end, and then because at the IPC, when you are entering the IPC door, you put your party colors behind.
Absolutely. That's
so
amazing.
You will not know who is GDC, who is NPP, UDP, who is NPP, and so on. Nice. The moment we enter, we focus ourselves on the Gambia. So we have Gambian interests. Nice. We are all looking for the Gambia, not at our individual political parties.
Okay.
So that's why normally whatever we discuss, we come to consensus.
So let me ask you, does this come some sort of as a hindrance for you? For example, if I were to interview you, or a media should interview you, and you ask you in a way that might result in criticizing the NPP or the UDP or DOI, in your capacity as co-chair, do you sometimes feel constrained to actually use your political platform, GDC, to make criticisms, of course, as chairman?
At the GDC level, I can speak on behalf of the GDC.
Yeah, but
that's as a political party.
But don't you feel that
with my position,
yes,
I'll not be able to criticize.
Yes.
But I look at the Gambian interest and I will talk on that.
Okay.
That is, if you do something that we know that is going to jeopardize the democracy, the peace in this country,
you can say.
Of course, I can say that. Okay. That is not called for, and we feel that I feel that it should stop.
Okay.
Yes, because anything that will not bring peace in this country, we are not calling for.
Yeah, I said this because just in furtherance of what you said, that when you come to IPC, you put your party colors. So I'm trying to imagine if you, as a member of the GDC, have a need to speak out, and that may go against the activities of some political parties. You may feel constrained in your capacity as chair of the inter-party to do so.
Of course.
Yes.
I can, to criticize, you criticize something that maybe is not in line with what you are thinking.
Okay.
You criticize it.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, if in my capacity as the secretary of the GDC, as the admin secretary of the GDC, now if a political party looks at the NPP does something that is not called for, and I'm interviewed on that decision, I can of course criticize the act. You see, that the act is not called.
It's not called for. Right.
Yes, and I think that it should stop.
Yeah.
Because here, when you are a leader of a country, of a nation, or any institution, what you should focus on is what will bring that institution, what will take it forward, and what will bring peace there.
Okay.
So I will talk on that ground, but not to criticize.
Yes.
But I criticize constructively.
Only when there is a need you can speak out.
Yes.
But then in any case, you are mindful of the fact that you are seen as an arbiter or chair of the two sides.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jabbie,
because I represent all.
You represent all of them.
So I'll be representing the NPP in my party as well, because I'm looking at the Gambia.
So Jabbie, does the code of conduct cover you yourself as members of the IPC? Which areas? When are you supposed to speak out? When are you supposed to wear your party colors? And when not to?
Yes, this is a very good question, Mr. Chair. Yeah, because the code of conduct actually binds political parties, together. But the internal, behavior of the IPC has not been covered by this codes of conduct.
Yeah.
But presently we are looking at that. At that gap. That is a gap, and we are in the process of writing ground rules. This is why I said with the coming of Co-Chair Baldeh and Co-Chair Baa, we saw the need to transform the IPC from where it was to another level. So we are in the process of writing ground rules that will actually make all IPC members, obey, the rules of engagement. So, we have a model, and this model has worked for us, because there are, the reason why we are calling him a co-chair, because there is another co-chair.
Yes, you call each other co-chair.
So we usually draw, co-chairpersonship from the ruling party and the opposition.
Ah, okay.
So the ruling party, will send somebody, will nominate someone to become a co-chair, and the opposition bloc will also nominate someone to become a co-chair.
I think that is fair, because even though the governing party may be just one, and these people are 18, but because they are, so you see, one represent them, one represent 18 from
exactly.
That I think the ruling party have no case to complain about.
Yes, because we don't want any perception. Perception that
there are more opposition.
There are more opposition parties in the IPC, or the opposition is influencing the proceedings of the IPC, or the ruling party is influencing the proceedings of the IPC. We want to have a balance.
Now, is the ruling party actually who may have cause to concern, because your opposition are in the majority?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have these two people chairing the inter-party committee.
Yeah.
And
at the moment, the NPP is Sheikh Baa.
Yes, Honorable Sheikh Baa is a member of Parliament for Basse constituency. Is one of the co-chairs.
Yeah, I take it that Chairman, you get on very well with him.
For sure, yeah.
Okay.
We all liaise and consult each other on whatever, even if he's away. Whatever I do, he's in the picture.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
so we have this balance, and the resolution thing, the consensus building thing, requires everybody to contribute towards the proceedings of the IPC. So no one has the capacity or will have the power to override the decision of the IPC. When it comes to the collective decision, it is always a collective decision, and everybody, will input into that decision. So IPC is not influenced by any single political party. Like you said, we had a meeting with some diplomats from the Commonwealth, and then when I told them that this co-chair is from an opposition, this other one is from the ruling party, the way they saw them chatting and laughing, with each other, they expressed surprise. They said, but we thought these people will come to blows whenever they come together. So how do you make these people to become so friendly? And this is something that we've never seen anywhere in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
So inter-party committee is not like a rare mechanism in the world, but the achievements of the inter-party committee of the Gambia actually is unique.
Absolutely.
Because even the PPRC, that is the political parties, Registration Commission of Sierra Leone, were amazed how we were able to have this cohesion, this inter-party cohesion, and then sit down and discuss, issues, political issues in this country without any acrimony. So they were surprised. They said they have seen this mechanism in Nigeria, they've seen it in Ghana, they've seen it in other places. But usually, whenever these people meet together, their political ideologies will always conflict, and overshadow anything that they do. Okay. So this, I don't know whether it's the peaceful nature of the Gambia. We have been able to overcome these kind of challenges. So the IPC, despite the fact that some people might see it as a parallel organ running alongside the National Assembly, we are saying that it is not bad to have a mechanism that will draw all political parties together, to enhance dialogue, to enhance democratic principles, and actually to call on every one of these political actors to obey the rules of engagement, the laws of the Gambia. I don't think that kind of a mechanism is bad for peace building and sustenance of democratic principles in any country.
Now, you mentioned some of the programs you want to push, Mr. Chairman. He said your secretary is talking about looking for ways of coming up with a legislation, get the government's backing to do a legislation by which it can be established as a publicly funded national institution. How far have you gone with that?
At the moment, we already have, the secretary have alluded to before, that we met some of the political party leaders and people like my party, like lawyer Oshenu Dabo, they have offered us their
services free.
Their services to prepare the draft for that, for the bill, so that at least the IPC will finally become a statutory body where we'll be able to get funds from the consolidated funds. And so far we are on that stage.
It will interest me when that bill get to Parliament. How do you think the National Assembly members will vote?
Well, I think, these political
you
parties,
said the IPC always have consensus. You think the MPs will follow suit?
I think they should follow suit, because here all the MPs are from political parties.
Yes.
So it is the political party's concern, and each member of parliament, your party is represented in that IPC.
Yes.
So anything that will bring that IPC forward, that it will make it progress. I don't think there will be any parliamentarian who will block that.
The other thing it comes with, once it becomes a government institution, government may like to interfere in its structuring or its appointments into it. You said that IPC you have a unanimous decision most of the time. When it comes to a national institution, as you are aspiring, then you will have to look at how appointments and representations are done there.
Yes, here we are thinking of registering it just like the IEC. The IEC is getting funds from from government. It's funded by government.
But for organizing elections.
Yes, for organizing elections and so on.
Yeah.
So here also the inter-party committee also can get funds from the government, because we are representing political parties. We are trying to bring these political parties together and then to have dialogue and other issues, contentious issues that may emanate from them, especially during campaign and so on.
Yeah.
So actually to fund that project, I think the government will not have that much interference on it, even if it is registered, just as an independent organ.
Okay. You said you met party leaders. How have their reception been? For example, you made them to understand that you definitely represent everybody with maximum impartiality. For example, when you went to Mama Kande or Lawyer Dabo or Adamu Barrow, what sort of reception did you get there?
Actually, Mr. Cham, you will be surprised to know that all these political party leaders that we met, they took us as their own. So we get maximum reception from them. They appreciate us coming to them, meeting them, dialoguing with them, because it's not the first time we have been doing that. We have been organizing quarterly breakfast meetings.
Yes.
And where we call all political party leaders together. You see, most of them do come, we discuss together and so on. So here, because they are seeing that, well, we are building peace among them. And it's a welcome idea for them, because in fact, wherever we go, they said, you should have done this earlier. You see, you should meet us, we discuss with you, because we are part of you. We are the people who are representing us in the inter-party committee. So what happens there, we should be informed. And that's why the members of the IPC always inform their executives when they go back after the meeting.
I see.
Yes.
Good. Mr. Jabbie, let me come to you again with the programs you are implementing. You have the UNDP, the NDI, among others, really standing behind you. What sort of programs do you have on the pipeline to implement, for which they probably may pledge or may provide funding for?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for that question. First of all, let me see this opportunity to convey our sincere gratitude to the UNDP resident representative who has left the country now,
yes.
Madam Aissa today, who has finished her duties in the Gambia, and to actually welcome the incoming UNDP resident representative. You know, we are also very grateful to ECOWAS, to ONEP, West African Network for Peace, and the NDI for their very pragmatic, partnership with the IPC over the years. So right now we have an action plan. We have a series of activities that we need to do.
Let's hear them.
We need to do 2023, 2024, and the UNDP, fortunately, is the funding partner for these activities. The major activity on the table is Women in Leadership Project.
Women
in Leadership Project.
Wow.
Strengthening women's political participation and leadership through reform legislation, community level leadership, and political parties engagement in the Gambia is the project that is on the table now that IPC actually want to engage in partnership with the UNDP.
How do you want to go about it?
Yes, we have activities that we need to do. And the outcome actually that we are looking for is to have an enhanced legal framework, policies and political parties bylaws in place to increase women political participation and leadership. This is the outcome that we are looking for. And the project activities will be support the political parties, and inter-party committee review gender strategy or policy for political parties to mainstream quota systems in the selection of candidates for elective seats, including the implementation plan. We need to encourage, the National Assembly. We need to encourage Gambians to accept this a possible quota system for women to be largely represented.
So that means each party should at least set
a
certain quota of my National Assembly members or councillors or mayors should be women.
Yes, definitely. And then we know this is going to be a challenge because political parties have internal party democracies. They have their own internal party democracies.
Well, recently there's a report that criticized the lack of democracy in political parties as late as it was as recent as last week. I don't know whether you agree with that. At your party level, GDC, do you project women in front?
Of course, we have women in front because we have a lot of them. Even we have women who are chairpersons of regions. We have women in the executive, central executive.
Ghana?
Yes, we have. The national mobilizer is not National Women Mobilizer. I'm talking about the national mobilizer. It's a woman.
For Ghana.
For Ghana, yes.
Okay.
Yes, so we are also cognizant, and we are also ready to adopt this gender policy.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. And this is how soon you want to go about?
Well,
as soon as funding is.
We are going to do this in October and November. Yes, 2023.
Okay,
October and November. This is right now on the table, and we are all working towards this. And IPC this time is going to be the implementing partner, for this project. Because if you remember, we used to outsource our activities to other agencies. Other implementing partners of the United Nations. Yes, but now we have in place administrative and financial systems that will allow us to implement our own programs.
I see.
So these are the activities. Another activity is to train members of women's wings of political parties. We need to capacitize the women wings of political parties for them to have the tools, the necessary tools, in leadership, in advocacy. And we also need to capacitize the inter-party committee and its branches, because the inter-party committee has the female branch and the youth branch. We have regional branches for the youths, and we also intend to have regional branches for the women. These branches are platforms that women can use to advocate, to become recognized as credible and credible partners in national development. So this capacity building will also include implementation of gender strategy within the political parties. We will call all political party leaders to a meeting and then inform them the importance of having a gender strategy in their political parties, whether it is a quota system or whether it is a deliberate decision to promote women into leadership positions in their political parties. Whichever way they want to go about it, but let them be encouraged to do that as soon as possible before 2026, so that we can have an increased number of women in our National Assembly.
Yes. We have only 3 at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, we have only 3. Unfortunately, we have only 3. Although the activities, the participation has increased.
Yeah, the people who wanted to become
to
be elected have increased.
Yes,
but only 3 eventually got elected.
Yes.
So you want a policy where deliberately the parties will not put up male contestants in certain areas.
Yes.
To give maximum chance to women.
This is a policy that we wanted. We want. And the third outcome that we are also looking for this year with the funding of the United Nations is to strengthen conditions to advance women's political empowerment through aspiring women's candidates capacity building and sustainable campaign funding schemes. Because we have realized, over the years, since 2021 to date, that women have these aspirations to represent, their constituencies, but what they lack is finance. They don't have the funds. Usually, they go to men to help them with funds. So if you are looking for a position, and I'm looking for a position, you come to me to help you with funds. Obviously, I won't give you. I won't give you because that means I am empowering you.
And the meaning.
So
the meaning for them to go.
Exactly. So we need to have schemes, that will be put in place, that women can use to generate their own funding, to mobilize funds for themselves, and in the absence of that, to look for partners, donors worldwide that are interested in women empowerment to come to their aid and give them funding.
Wow,
yes,
that's quite a project. Any other one?
Yes. There's another one. The
long term.
Yes. In the long term, this is not even in the long term. We want to do this before 2026. Yes, in fact, before 2025.
I see.
Yes, we want all these things in place before 2025. So that women empowerment can become a reality, not a rhetoric.
Fine. Good. Let's go back a little bit. There have been, and we're talking about challenges now. I'm sure you have a lot of challenges, but let me start with one common criticism that comes always is that, okay, you people will work quite in harmony and so peacefully, but when the elections get heated, then everybody is become now self-centered. And you become animals who are interested only in your party. Sorry about my language. So and they said, okay, where is the IPC? I mean, political parties who have complaints will write to the IEC and copy IPC, I guess. But then they say you are a toothless dog. You hardly have the initiative to do anything when things are hot. Because obviously you become biased. You become now. You forget about the IPC. Now you become political animals for your own parties. Is that a valid criticism?
Well, I'll not take that criticism because that's baseless.
It's baseless
as far as the IPC is concerned.
Recently, the United Democratic Party and the NPP have been, criticizing each other. Everybody in the country was concerned that these people are rising the political temperature unnecessarily. I didn't hear anything from IPC. Where were you?
Actually, we have our MOU, and normally what happened when political parties have any political party that have a concern or have a problem, we write to the inter-party committee, and then we'll take off from there.
No, but if you don't need to be written to when you hear your members quarreling publicly. Do you have to wait for one of them to write to you?
We have,
or you have to take your own initiative.
We take our own initiative. That's why last Tuesday we had an executive meeting and we discussed about what we are hearing in the social media. That's the attacks from these two political parties, and we felt that we should not wait for them to write because, as the saying goes, if the mountain cannot go to Muhammad, then Muhammad should go to the mountain.
Indeed.
Now, because they did not write, and they have representatives in the IPC, because they know that they should have written, but this is not done. So we decided to come and then write to them to arrange for a meeting with them, so that we'll go for a fact-finding meeting. We'll go to each of the two political party executives, discuss and see what is the problem. When we gather this information, then we'll get back to the IPC. we will sit and then strategize and see how best we can have that dialogue between the two political party executives. Yes.
I see. Jabbie,
yes, in place.
Why is the IPC often absent when political processes get heated?
Yes, it's largely due to the rule of engagement that has been adopted by IPC, recommended by the former, the executive of the IPC, that we should not get ourselves, into any issue without being invited. Because if you go to people's homes without being invited or their programs, whatever happens to you is your fault. So this is something that we have. This is a wisdom that we have adopted. But like you rightly said, sometimes it is necessary to act even without being invited. Like you are in your home and your neighbor, you hear a crisis in your neighbor's house. You don't want to be invited to go and try to solve any problem that they might have. So we had this executive meeting and we are critically reviewing this rule of engagement. Mr. Baldeh actually opened that discussion and said we have to be concerned with the rhetoric that is going on in the country, in the political landscape, precisely between the United Democratic Party and the National People's Party. The commentaries that we are receiving from media outlets are comments that violate our code of conduct. So we need to do something about these things. And we come up with a strategy. And the strategy is to form a committee, a 6-man committee, that will go to the secretary generals and party leaders of these two major political parties, that command a lot of support in this country, and engage them into a conversation, to find out, the reasons, the underlying factors, that is making this unsavory and very angry rhetorics coming from both of them. And when we have this meeting, which we slate for the 25th, for the 26th and the 27th of October, we need to go and see His Excellency the President of the Republic, and we also need to see His Excellency the Secretary General and Party Leader of the United Democratic Party and their executives, to have a conversation, an insider conversation, to see how we can actually get out of this, escalating rhetoric that is characterizing the.
You must have heard about
the political discourse.
An initiative being contemplated by the NPP through its new administrative secretary to initiate dialogue with political parties, between the NPP and political parties. Would it not be very much ideal for the IPC to either lead or perhaps make itself available to facilitate that thing? You must have heard about it.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we heard about that. Here all political parties, they are at their own liberty to discuss, to meet any political party for a dialogue.
Okay.
So the IPC, we are there. If we are engaged, for sure we will. We'll take the lead. Now, if we are not engaged,
one would have thought that your mandate would really cover. If you see such initiatives, you will quickly jump to embrace it. Like, for example, the NPP now, the governing party, is now saying we are waiting. In fact, they said they are waiting for the approval of Balo now to go ahead with their initiative to engage all the political parties in a dialogue so that they can dose down the tension. One would have thought that that really would be very good music for the ears of the IPC.
Yes, that's the initiative of the NPP. That's what their executive have come up with. But we felt that, well, the IPC is already a convergence institution where at least all political parties belong to. So to discuss this in, at least it would have been prudent enough to do it at the IPC level. Because all of them are there, and this is why we are planning for this quarterly breakfast meeting again, where we'll meet all political party leaders. At there, we'll discuss such things. How can we get rid of this this language that we use? Because the foul language, and we have to see ourselves as we are all in the same boat, and our aim is to anchor safely. to get to the other side. So anything that will not make that possible, we should all run away from that. So that's why we try to bring them together. If the electorate sees people, political party leaders sitting together, discussing, eating together and so on, then it will reduce the political tension outside. And then there will be no need for them to be harassing each other, fighting, insulting, or malicing each other, because they know that, well, we are all in this country, and if it's good governance is going on, we will all enjoy. Absolutely. If it is bad governance, we will all fail. So actually, it is a thing that we are thinking, and we are working towards that. Yes.
Good. Right. Let me go back to the secretary now. What are the structures like? If, for example, you had co-chair, executive, and an executive. What are the other structures?
Yes.
How do you talk about branches in the regions? How do you go about that?
Yes, we have the we have the co-chairpersonship. We have the head of administration. We have the administrative committee. We have the financial committee. We have the mediation committee. We have the regional sensitization teams across the country. You know, and then we also have the youth branches and national youth branch also. We have the national youth branch and regional youth branches. We have the national women branch, and we intend to create regional women branches also. So we want to have, you know, we want to have we want to touch every part of the country, every, you know, sector of our population, women, men, youth, this, you know, people living with disabilities, and even children.
So how do you go about organizing a regional body? Do you go the same modus operandi, that is pick people from different parties in the region and make them represent? Oh, how do you go about it?
Yes.
For example, if you are going to have an office or a unit in Mansakonko, how are you going? Who's going to be there? Where is he? What will be the background of the people that are representing you?
If you want this regional office, just the way we recruited the youth branches and then the sensitization teams. So every party will send in representatives, just like the IPC. And these people will come together. Then they will get the training on what to do. We will give them their TORs, and then they will operate. And they will choose their leaders among themselves. Who's going to be the chair, the secretary, and so on, their own secretariat. You see, then they will operate. You see, and it's getting on nicely with the sensitization teams who are already organized, and the youth branches at the regional level. You see, because these people, they come together, organize football tournaments. They visit families that are having problems, to try to settle their disputes and so on, and bring youths together to have football tournament and so on, so that at least they will have that interaction and forget about their political parties. They think of the Gambia, they think of their relationship, they think of their communities, how to build their communities, how to have this peaceful atmosphere within their communities. Yes.
I was going to talk on the challenges. You must have problems, challenges that are really causing you sleepless nights as to how to achieve or to go about your program. What are your biggest challenges, Chairman?
Our major challenge here is funding. Because, and secondly, the IPC is the only institution without even mobility.
Oh, that's important.
So we don't have mobility, and if we want to reach these places, normally it's a problem. We have to pay fares or use other members within the party who have vehicles. At least we beg them to take us somewhere and so on.
And you should not naturally, all of you should not naturally seen in a UDP vehicle going to that. Oh, an NPP level vehicle.
It would have been better if we have our own vehicle, and everybody know that this is the IPC vehicle. Wherever we go to, they will see
so
the
that
level
they will
on
put
it.
the IPC1. That will be yours.
Not maybe, not
or maybe
but
Jabbie's.
for the
So that people
for the institute.
For the institute, I know.
Yes. So anyone can use it, because as far as it's there for the institution,
I know.
Then wherever it goes, so people will know that this is the IPC.
But
all parties
you should register as IPC1, okay? So that
that we are thinking that way maybe when it comes.
You 1 up to 12. I pray that you will get IPC1 up to 12.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Cham.
So mobility, you said, is a problem.
It's a problem. And the funding also is a problem because here we depend on donor funding. We don't have money at the but thanks to the NPP leader who gave us some funds to
President Barrow.
The President
Barrow. He made a personal donation.
Personal donation.
Did Mama candidate the same thing?
No.
Lawyer Dabo?
No.
Ah, well, you must challenge them.
No,
did you tell them that Barrow donated?
Donation is at your own will. It's not a condition.
Yeah, but tell them that Barrow donated. Maybe from here they will know.
But they
Barrow
know,
donated.
the whole world, I can say, the whole community
I didn't
knows.
know about it. Did you?
I didn't know. In the media.
Barrow liked to keep his donations
maybe you are not in the
private.
media.
So it was published.
But it's the social media.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
social media.
And
I didn't hear that he donated.
Okay.
If Dabo hear that, Mama,
yes, they all heard it
they should
because
follow suit.
All political parties heard about it because they're in the inter-party committee and they knew about this fund.
They should donate. Then.
Yes. So this is our major challenge because the team that we want to establish in these regions, it means funding. So we are looking for those funding. We draw our concept notes on how to go about it, and now we throw it to the donor community. Yes, if we get the funding, then we'll go ahead and establish this branch, especially the women branch.
Good.
Yes.
The Secretariat will know the problems much better. They deal with them on daily basis.
Yes.
I'm sure you really must have got some areas where challenges are. Which are these areas?
Yes, apart from finance, which is a challenge in all development countries, we also have capacity gaps.
Okay.
Capacity gaps because we need to have capacity training, on continuous basis. We need to have adequate training on how to mediate, and we need to have adequate, training on how to mobilize resources, to mitigate against the challenges that a lot of other politicians face in this country when it comes to politics. We need to have capacity training in how to manage administratively and financially. These are trainings that we actually need.
Because you were talking about in the past you outsource your activities because you don't have the capacity to handle, for example, huge financial transactions.
Yes.
Now you're beginning to say that you now have got that.
Yes, we are about to get that now. Okay. Because we have a financial officer that has the capacity, to to put in place robust and very watertight financial systems. We also have an administrative manual that is in place, actually pioneered by Honorable Co-Chair Samba Baldeh himself, and we are improving on that one also. And when it comes to the administrative secretariat, I am also learning.
Yeah,
I'm also learning to to administer in terms of writing minutes, correspondences, putting in place certain mechanisms that need to be improved, and then it will actually bring about the desired outcomes that we need. But capacity building is something that we need. Funding is actually something that we need, and the acceptance of IPC as a peace mechanism, is to kind of change people's mindset about the IPC is also a challenge, because people might think that the IPC is a toothless bulldog. We heard somebody say in the social media yesterday that we are toothless bulldogs.
On Monday. Okay.
Yes, said that. On Monday, yes, that we are toothless bulldogs, and in fact, the United Democratic Party should disengage from the IPC. This is
that must have come from a UDP man.
This is a dangerous speech. this is a dangerous speech. What you are telling us that you are asking a major political player from disengaging from a peace mechanism.
But it didn't come from their officials.
No, it didn't come
probably
from.
It's a sympathizer.
No, it's not an official statement from from this political party. It's a member of a political party.
Okay.
Who is saying so? This is kind of polluting the already polluted political atmosphere. We here to actually advocate for peace, build peace, sustain peace, and then increase inter-party cooperations. For democratic to expand the democratic space. This is why we are here. So if we have the required support from government, from the development partners, when we have the required support from the Gambian people, then investing in IPC means investing in peace building. in maintenance of peace, in the sustenance of peace, for people to realize that politics comes and goes. And when we are in politics, we have to decorate our interpersonal relationships. And then when politics is finished and we have the verdict of the people, then we need to respect that verdict, and then move on towards another electoral cycle, without any injury to our interpersonal relations. This is why IPC is here. But it's not here to, anytime we have an issue, then we all go out and start to, be very, vocal, be very aggressive. Then our mandate to build peace will be defeated.
Would be defeated, because you'll be seen to be an aggressive organization.
An aggressive
organization. To be a part of a political move.
Yes, and Cham, if you allow me, when the PPRC, that is the People's Political Parties Registration Commission of Sierra Leone, came here, we had a discussion at the United Nations level, where they are even encouraging us to spread the message in the region, in the sub-region, that the IPC can be a model that can be used by the Senegalese, that can be used by other ECOWAS countries, to build and sustain peace. And right now we are developing a memorandum of understanding that we will take to Sierra Leone, to sign with them, and as the first step towards our march to the sub-region. Yes.
And Sierra Leone at the moment are engaged in some negotiation between the ruling party and the opposition. Perhaps they can take lessons from IPC. Be useful to them.
Exactly.
Good. Let's wrap up now with activities from your individual parties. Where is the GDC? Not much have been heard of it.
The GDC, we are on the ground, and just last Saturday we had a youth congress in Farafenni.
Okay.
And yesterday, the day before yesterday, that is Sunday. Sunday, we had another rally in the URA.
In Sarebojo.
Yes, and even on Monday, we also had another meeting in Jambo. So we are everywhere. The GDC actually they are.
And where is Honorable Kande?
Honorable Kande, he traveled out of this country, but he's back.
Oh, he's back.
Good.
And Baa Jabbie, you, in the absence of Tijan Haider, you are more or less
as the interim leader, and Secretary General of Gambia Alliance for National, for National Unity, GANU. We are, remobilizing our grassroots base.
Okay.
In fact, we had some meetings with some focal youth, youth members of GANU, in order to galvanize the participation of the youth across the country. I called them to my house, and we had a very fruitful discussion. And then I informed them that I am the interim Secretary General and party leader of Gambia Alliance for National Unity. And then we have a program of activities that are put in place from now against the 2026. And as soon as everything is done, we will come to the public to announce.
Are you going to be in alliance with NPP again in 2026?
Well,
or time will tell.
Well, time will tell. Time will tell. Yes.
I'm sure there's one area Mr. Baldeh will not agree with you.
Well, at IPC we disagree and agree.
That's it.
Yes.
All right, gentlemen. Baa Jabbie, Secretary of the Inter-Party and basically deputy leader, interim leader of the GANU, that's the Gambia Alliance for National Unity, and Samba Baldeh, he is the secretary of the Gambia Democratic Congress and co-chair of the Inter-Party Committee. Thank you, both of you, for sharing your insightful, knowledge about your working, that is the IPC, and your programs, here on the Brunch. I hope and I pray that we will come back to do more talks on the IPC and your activities. Of course, after you have recorded, maximum success in the implementations. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being on the Brunch.
Yes,
the Brunch will be back next week. Goodbye for now.
Thank you.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.